Hello dear students, welcome back to computer science class. I am Managala, lecturer in computer science, Vidyarashmi Vidyalaya, Savanur. In last session we were discussing about the chapter overview of computers. In this session we will continue with the topic generation of computers. Depending upon the development of technology, the generation of the computer is classified into 5 types. First generation, second generation, third generation, fourth generation and fifth generation. We will see one by one. The first generation of computers were developed in the year 1940 to 1956, and the first generation of computer are started with using vacuum tubes as a basic component. In first generation computer they have used vacuum tubes as a basic component. Vacuum tubes are magnetic material, and the first generation computers speed is very slow and the storage capacity is very less compared to other generation of computers, and their size is very large, so it acquires at the entire room, and it is more expensive than other generation computer. The first generation of computers operated only with the machine languages. Machine languages in the sense the language which is the computer capable of understanding. And there was no monitor, keyboard, mouse and no programming language in first generation of computers. And input is based on the punched cards and the output is obtained as a printout, and it consumes more electricity. So it consumes more electricity, because of that it generates more heat, and because of this excess heat it caused the computer to malfunction. Malfunction in the sense failure to operate normally. So the first generation of computers consumes more electricity, because of that it generates more heat, and because of that it caused the computer to malfunction. And some of the computers of first generations are Inac, Advac and Uniac. Let us see one by one. So mainly in first generation of computers they have used vacuum tubes as a basic component. The first one is Inac. Inac stands for Electronic Numerical Integrator and Computer. This is very important. Ask for one marks. What is the full form of Inac? So Inac stands for Electronic Numerical Integrator and Computer. It is the first electronic general purpose computer. Inac is the first electronic general purpose computer, and Inac used a word of 10 decimal digits instead of binary ones. It used a word of 10 decimal digits. 10 decimal digits, that is 0 to 9, and instead of binary ones. Binary means 0 and 1. So Inac, the first machine to use Inac is the first machine to use 2000 vacuum tubes using nearly 18,000 kilometers of wires. It was the first first machine to use 2000 vacuum tubes using nearly 18,000 kilometers of wires, and it consumes more electric current, and it performs arithmetic and transfer operations simultaneously. The Inac computer consumes more electric current and it performs arithmetic and transfer operations simultaneously. This is about Inac. Inac stands for Electronic Numerical Integrator and Computer. Important for exam. Next is Advac. EDVAC stands for Electronic Discrete Variable Automatic Computer. EDVAC stands for Electronic Discrete Variable Automatic Computer, and it is the vast improvement upon Inac. It is a advanced version of Inac. So, it is a vast improvement upon Inac, and it performs all the arithmetic operations like multiplication, addition, subtraction and division. And this idea was to have the program for the computer stored inside the computer. The main reason to develop the EDVAC computer is to store the program inside the computer, because EDVAC was going to have more internal memory. Because of more internal memory, here we can store the program inside the computer. So, this is about Inac and EDVAC. The next one is Uniac. Uniac stands for Universal Automatic Computer. What Uniac stands for? This is the 1 mark question for examination. Uniac stands for Universal Automatic Computer. Uniac was the first commercial computer produced in USA, and it was handled both the numbers and alphabetic characters equally as well. So, it was the first commercial computer produced in USA, and it handled both the numbers and alphabetic characters equally as well. So, this is about the computers of first generations. First one is ENIAC, next one is EDVAC, and last one is Uniac. The second generation computers were developed in the year 1956 to 1963. In second generation of computers, they have replaced vacuum tubes with the transistors. Here transistor were the basic component used in second generation computers, and in first generation computers they have used vacuum tubes as a basic component, but here they have used transistors. And the second generation computers were much faster and more reliable than the earlier generation computers. It is easy to use as compared to the previous generation of computers, and the storage capacity of second generation computers was highest than the earlier generation computers, and it consumes less electricity so that it generates less heat. Second generation computers consumes less electricity so that it generates less heat, and the input it used punched cards, and output is obtained by using the printouts, as same in the first generation of computers. And here these machines were moved from machine language to assembly language. In here they have used assembly language, but in previous generation of computers they have used machine language. So, this is about the second generation of computers. Next one is the third generation of computers. Third generation of computers were developed from the year 1964 to 1971, and here they have used integrated circuits or ICs as a main basic component. In first generation computers they have used vacuum tubes, and in second generation computers they have replaced vacuum tubes with the transistors, and coming to third generation of computers they have used integrated circuits. And here they introduced keyboard and monitors. In previous generation of computers they used punched card for inputs, and for the obtaining outputs they have used printouts, but here because they have used integrated circuits they introduced keyboard and monitors for input and output. So, because of the ICs increased speed and storage capacity. We can see the increased speed and storage capacity in third generation of computers, and also it was more reliable, smaller in size and faster as compared to previous generation of computers, and also the maintenance cost was very low and it consumes less electricity. So, this is about the third generation of computers.